All right, so walk me through kind of the problem. So a client comes to you, hey, I got this problem, and you're listening to it, and of course they explain to you, okay, if I don't solve this problem, this bad thing will happen. But I think if I can figure this out, this good outcome will happen. And kind of what sort of solution are you recommending these days? And I'd love to especially hear about the any kind of AI solution that you're doing or whatever, if you're actually, well, I'll just tell you one thing, just a little, so you know where I'm coming from. I kept I'm the old guy, right? So I used to be, I hate doing the old stories about how I used to be somebody, like I used to program, I used to program with the best of them or systems analyst, right? And I kept along the years, and I was an IT guy for, 25 years. Then I started a magazine called Windows NT Magazine, and that became a big deal. And then I became, consulting mostly to media business owners. Okay. Until I started this company I have now, which is Clean Connect, an AI software company for oil and gas, using it as computer vision, AI. And now I find myself with this vibe coding world, Cloud Code and whatnot. I'm back, baby. It's beautiful. I don't need to know all the, I didn't need to learn Python or any of this stuff. I just literally listen to what the customers want, and I'm able to show them something. They're like, wow, that looks like exactly what I'm looking for. And then I have some back end guys that can take it into, enterprise level production. But still, I feel like, hey, I'm back. I don't have to be the guy that just hands it off to my, designer or whatever. I can literally get it. And I could imagine at some point, vibe coding will just go right like all the way. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with everything that you said so far. And I've been experiencing the same thing. And what I'm seeing, and this is kind of an evolution, and you hear, everybody talk about what AI is going to do to the world and how it's going to change. And then there's some skeptics out there that say it's in a bubble, it's not really doing anything. But you and I, being on the forefront of this area, we know that what used to take 2 years to develop and execute can be done in a week or less, right? So what that means is businesses can respond to issues much quicker than they could ever in the history of mankind. And that's why everybody's getting so excited about it. Now, the problem is a lot of people that are in these positions are young. They don't understand the how things work. They're relying on existing legacy IT systems that have the logic built into them. They have the rules engines built into them. And they're like, I'd like to build this, but I don't understand our business, right? So
Mm.
that's why they need people like us to say, hey, let's go into the legacy software. Let's pull out your rules engine that, were developed over 40 years or whatever that tell you how your business is actually running, right? And let's go out and solve these problems using the technology that you have, but applying it in a new way. And it's going to be quicker, cheaper, better quality than you've ever seen before.
And Mark, look, and we got a few, miles on the tread, right? So I think one of the other advantages that we have as being the older guys in the room is this. Okay, so my younger business partner, they're racking their brain to try to figure out what to do next. Okay, that is the what. And I immediately, I jump to the who because, we've been around long enough and our network is big and we kind of like, wait a second. I know a guy that could probably get me, way further down the road. And so I find myself like when I'm cloud coding and doing research, I could say, hey, go find all the, the oil and gas producers and LNG, whatever, in New Mexico, right? And which certifications they're looking for. And it goes off and done it. And then I say, wait a second, I know this energy trader and this energy trader, and I plug those things in. I was, oh my gosh, okay, this guy is involved with this and this. So we can feed it the who and the what, and that could actually accelerate the project even faster because you start involving your network in something, and your network's always looking, especially if you've been a good partner in the past, right? To where when you call, they're like, no, I'm going to return Mark's call because I've done business with him in the past, and he's a guy that gets results, and he's good with the relationship side. And they come into your world, and then it just compounds the thing, I think. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. I don't know about you, but I feel like us old guys have the who as well as the what in our
Yeah.
brains.
And so what you just said, I was listening to the example that you were providing. What you were saying is based on your context, you have access to better data.
Right,
As you know, when you improve your data quality, you get better results.
right.
And that is an advantage that experienced people have over people that are brand new. Is like you can improve the data quality, which is foundational in anything you do. It's always been that way since the beginning of IT. And now it's more important now than ever because a lot of these AI tools are just combing the internet. And as you know, for their data, right? They're combing the internet for their data, and you're only as good as the data that you're getting, right?
Hmm.
There's no one there being a data steward to say this is good data, this is bad data. It just takes whatever data that's out there, gives you an answer. That's why you still need someone to review that. Otherwise, the term hallucinations are out there all the time. AI is going to give you hallucinations, right? That's all caused by bad data. And what you and people like you and people that are experienced, like myself and you, you're going to get to people that'll give you the best data available. And that will also yield you the best results. And that you can use the same tool, you'll get two different results. What's the difference? The data, right?
Yep.